Hey, what's going on everybody? This video is about game launchers tier list. Steam, S tier, you know it. Your grandmother knows it, and when you turn 69 years old, you'll still say the same story to your grandkids. Epic Games Launcher, it has a pretty cool UI, literally gives free games every week. If you calculate the money you have saved from buying the games Epic has given us for free, it would probably cost more than $1,000. Unfortunately, the 9-year-old still logs in here to play Fortnite, but all in all, it's an amazing launcher. S tier for sure. Origin is known for those video games that forces you to sell your kidneys for the downloadable contents, which are pretty dog shit to be honest. I wonder what would have happened if Origin was spelled like this. Maybe we had to download the launcher with $5 and every time you open the launcher it would charge $1, but anyways, majority of the games that belong here is from EA and the user interface kinda looks pretty antiquated. I would give it a C tier. If I didn't play Battlefield, I probably would have just threw it in the cesspool already. GOG is pretty much Steam's baby brother right now. You can play the games that you own on Steam with this launcher, and whatever sale or discount is going on in Steam also appears to be available in GOG. So I don't really find that much reason to use GOG where I already have Steam. It feels like GOG is just a sussy version of Steam, but I would give it a C tier. It's not as bad as Drake's new album's merchandise. Battle.net has some of the famous games from the infamous company, Activision Blizzard. I'm not gonna talk about those jarring stuffs involving the lawsuit that happened recently in the enterprise. This is just a launcher tier list after all. So the games you find in Battle.net are not to be found in anywhere else. Call of Duty Warzone, Black Ops, Cold War, and obviously Overwatch. So there is definitely some good reasons to download this launcher even though the collection of games are pretty narrow, so I think Battlenet falls under the B tier. Ubisoft Connect is a launcher that I fire up once in a blue moon as their games are just Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V right now, which doesn't really captivate me these days. I used to play a lot of Ubisoft games back in the non-pandemic age, but over time I've lost a major portion of interest towards Ubisoft. The launcher is pretty ordinary. You do get free games or free tiles sometimes, but the launcher just feels obsolete these days. I'm gonna place Ubi on D tier. Talk about obsolete launchers, I didn't even know Bethesda had its own launcher until I made this video. I've never in my life used it, and I think it's also not that mandatory as the games you get in the launcher can be bought or played in Steam. On some occasions you'll need the launcher, but I think gaming would still be the same if Bethesda launcher didn't exist or was removed entirely. F tier. And whatever else launcher exists in the gaming universe doesn't really serve any purpose for multiple games. For example, the trash tier My Games launcher, which is one of the most bizarre launcher that has some terrible games. Warface is not a terrible one though, but it's just really baffling that I have to install this launcher in order to play the game. Warface even banned me on a false accusation of being a hacker in the game, which I took as a huge achievement. Getting caught hacker when you're actually just playing with the same hand that you used to jerk off with is astounding in my opinion. But the main fault was the My Games launcher. I had to verify my game data to fix the ban issue. You know, shits like that is just surreal. So My Games will go to the F tier. This was just an example. There are lots of other launchers out there I'm sure, and they don't really provide much value to the gamers or just feels pretty meaningless as a launcher itself. So they probably will fall under the just a launcher tier in this tier list, or maybe just F tier. So yeah, that's all. Have a relax.